So already we constructed z. Now we have to continue constructing x and y. So for x and y, again we use the third production. This L1 is L1 identifier, and this L1 is again derived as L1 identifier. This ID is x, this ID is y, and this ID is z. So now we have completed constructing the parse tree. Now we have to evaluate the parse tree. So we know, before evaluating, we have to first know whether what type of attribute is each one, whether it is synthesized one or an inherited one. If an attribute is synthesized, we have to evaluate at the last time we visited, and similarly if it is an inherited one, we have to evaluate at the first time we visited, right? So we will start from the top and we come to the first element T, first attribute T. So we already know T is a synthesized attribute. T is a synthesized attribute. Since it is an synthesized one, we have to evaluate at the last time we visit. So this is the first time we are visiting it. So you come to the second time. This is the last time you will visit it. So since it is visited, you have to evaluate it. So what action it has to perform? T dot type equal to int. So this is taking T dot type is taking the value of int. Okay. So now after completing T, you come to L. So what type is L? So L is inherited one. We already saw L attribute is an inherited one. So it has to be evaluated at the first time it is visited. So first time we visited, so evaluated. So what has to be evaluated? So it is the production associated with this. T derives TL. So this L is taking the action of L dot in equal to T dot type. So T dot type is int. So L dot in is equal to int. Okay. So now you come down. So this L1 is nothing but, as I told you, it is a derivative of left hand side, not a different element. So this L1 has to be evaluated now. So the action of L1, since it is associated with this production, we are seeing the SDT related to this, that is L1 dot in equal to L dot in, what we got from the previous one. L1 dot in is equal to L dot in. So, and also since though it is visited first time, we have to evaluate it because it is inherited one. So now you again come down. So this L1, this is also an inherited one. Take the value from its left hand side. So L1 dot in is equal to int. Similarly, this L1 also, L1 dot in is equal to int. So after completing this, we are coming to this ID part. So this ID part, so this ID is also while coming to ID part, what we are doing, we are actually performing a reduction operation. We are reducing this LID into L. Okay, since it is a reduction operation, we have to perform the action associated with it. So L comma ID is reduced to L. L comma ID is reduced to L. So what action we have to perform? That is add type ID dot name L1 dot in. So ID dot name here is X, and L1 dot in is int. X is integer type. Okay, we are performing a reduction operation, and after that we are tracing the parse tree, and again there is a reduction. L1 comma ID is reduced to this L, which is again you have to perform this action of add type ID name comma L1 dot in. So we are adding Y into the symbol table, And similarly at the last we are coming to this EZ, which is also L comma ID is reduced to L. You perform the simultaneous action. Add type id dot name L1 dot int. That is how the symbol table is generated. Okay, thank you students.